What's going on, everybody? This is Extra Gravy. Got you another game of Warzone. Using the M13 yet again, and I have some more games with the Growl. If I decide to make more videos, I'll put them out using different weapons. I've been trying to experiment with different things, play with some shotguns, just change it up a little bit. Unfortunately, this game is very meta-based. There's a lot of guns that are way better than the others, so you're kind of hindered at that point, to use certain weapons. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to talk about a couple common mistakes, and this is one of them. You've seen that sniper right there. A couple common mistakes that my buddies, who are not the greatest, they do constantly. And, just common mistakes in general that I see people do, mainly the people I play with, that they just don't fix. And it's just simple stuff that's going to keep you alive. If you're dead in this game, you can do no damage. You can get no kills. You can't do anything if you're dead. So staying alive is the most important. This isn't like Team Deathmatch. We're going to respawn right away. Yes, you can with the gulag and get bought back. But, having to spend 4,500 when your team can buy a loadout is kind of a detriment to the team. You need the ghost. You need, your guns. You're going to fare much better when you have your weapons that you're used to, and guns that you've chosen and hand selected to use, in Warzone. So staying alive is very important in this game. So what I was getting at is that sniper right there is aiming down sight. I have an assault rifle. Even though this thing is a laser beam, it's not worth taking that fight. Best case scenario, I may down him. Maybe if you're if you're much better than that player, you may down him. But if you're aiming and fighting back, all he's got to do is headshot you one time and you go down. In this situation, we're all running in the circle. That's just going to make it even worse because I got to get healed up. I got to get picked up, healed up as I'm running in. It's just not going to be well. You can see our buddy in the back. He got knocked. Or no, I don't know what he was doing. He was actually just doing a mission. Not sure what the fuck he was doing. But anyway, he essentially killed himself. But if you see a sniper like that, it's just not worth taking the engagement unless you have a sniper to fight him and you're very confident that you're going to kill him. Best case scenario, on average, if you have an assault rifle, you maybe take 2 shields off. Let's say he downed you. And I can guarantee you, everybody would agree that you getting 2 shields off on the enemy and you going down is 100% not worth it. Just small things like this can change, the outcome of a game, because what you're going to have to do, you're going to use 2 plates, and let's say you were full, then you only have 3 plates. Let's say you get into a fight, and then you drop, you get your plates, knocked again fully, but you wipe a team and they don't have plates. Now you have no plates. I mean, 2 plates, it doesn't seem like much. It really doesn't. But at the end of the day, at the end of the game, if you're down 2 plates and you don't have none, and you could have saved them from not trying to peek a guy with a sniper rifle, I mean, that could make all the difference in the world. It's very petty stuff, but all this kind of stuff, comes into play at the end of the game. Or in certain situations. I'd say about 10% of the time are you going to win that fight against a sniper that I just had. When this game first started, it's just not going to work out very well. So at the end of the day, you should not continue to peek guys that have sniper rifles if you have submachine guns or assault rifles. It's just not worth it. Especially when they're on head glitches. It's just almost impossible to barely see them, first off. And secondly, they have a gun built for long range, and we don't. So it's just not worth peeking that. Another thing, a common mistake I see in this game that my buddies do, and you'll see later in the game, I do it a little bit differently. But again, you'll see tips videos on YouTube, and you'll see best strategies and this and that. But the thing about Battle Royale is every game is different. Every enemy is different. Everybody thinks differently. So every situation in this game is 100% different. It's never going to be, no one strategy is going to be the best strategy every single game. But what I'm getting at is when you knock somebody on a team and you guys want to push, which I do a lot, you can't just knock somebody and run directly straight in from where you knock them. Because what they're going to do, they're going to have one guy picking up and then the other 2 covering, the team that's going to be pushing. So if you're running straight in, they know exactly where you're at. What you want to do is get in cover, rotate to the side, and then push in, from a different angle. Because if you do that and they don't see where you're pushing from, then it's going to be much easier. Staying, off the grid and off the radar and just staying hidden, and I'm not meaning camping, but just staying off the radar and staying hidden and staying invisible to the enemies. If they don't see you and you know where they're at, I mean, you're going to know where they're at, essentially, because you downed them, right? You downed them and you're getting to a certain location because you know they're pushing them there. So if you rotate to the side, you know where they're at, but they don't. So you already have the upper hand at that point. Especially in this game where people can get res so quickly, you want to make sure that you're not being seen as you're pushing, because they're going to res and be ready to fight pretty much immediately, because the res times in this game are very, very low. So you just don't want to push directly where you came from after you knock somebody. Now later in the game you'll see that I kind of do that, but it's like I said, it's a different situation, because when I knock them, I knocked half of the team, and we're coming into the circle. We still have to move anyway. I knock half the team and I drop low so they can't see where I'm coming from, because they're not probably going to peek, because 2 people went down and 2 people have to make their res. So there's really nobody left, to get anybody up. So I drop down, get out of sight, and then push, and I make the play from there. But they're very common things, and like I said, very simple things in this game will make a huge difference. Another one that I see my buddies do all the time is, if there's a guy getting ready to run into an open field and he's coming towards you, a lot of times what they do is, as soon as he gets out of cover, they start shooting him right away. And the problem with that is, once you start shooting, all he's going to do is turn around, run 3 feet right back into cover. So unless he's like coming into the circle, if you shoot him right when he gets out of cover, he's just going to turn back and go right back into cover, and then what? Then he's going to let everybody know on his team where they're at, where we are at, and it's going to be an even fight. In this game, and in any battle royale game, you want to find the most unfair fights possible. You want to make sure that your team has the upper hand in the fights as much as possible, because that's how you win most games. If you never have the, if you never, have the, I guess, underhand, whatever the fuck that is. If you always have the advantage in every fight in a battle royale game, your chances of winning are significantly higher. So, what they do, like I said, they shoot as soon as they come out of cover, and all he does is turn around, get right back in cover. Let the guy run out into the open field, and then once you start shooting him, he has nowhere to go. He can't get back into cover, and then what? Best case scenario, you kill one of their teammates. It's a 4v3 now. You have the upper hand. So then you can start playing a little bit more, aggressively at that point. So just little minute things like that are going to change, the outcomes of the game. Like I say, they seem like silly things, but it can 100%, make or break, you winning or losing the game. My buddy's been using, and I get on him every time. He's got a P90 with a long-range thermal sight on it, with a hybrid sight, which he never uses the hybrid sight. He always uses the thermal, which a lot of people run cold-blooded, so it's hard as shit to see him anyway. And secondly, that gun is not a long-range weapon. You don't need really any sights on it. If you do, just use an HCOG or a regular whatever, GI Mini reflex or whatever. There's a 0 point of you having a submachine gun with a long-range sight on it. It just makes 0 sense. You're contradicting, you're using, like I said, a long-range scope on a short-range weapon. It just doesn't make sense. So having loadouts that make sense and, work together are very important. And like I said, he likes to take that submachine gun and shoot guys that are far shit away. And, all that does is, hey, he popped me twice. He got 1 armor. He broke 1 armor shield, but, now I know where they're at and I'm fully healed back up. So he really just gave our whole position away. We didn't really accomplish anything by pop-shotting that guy. All we did was break 1 shield, which isn't nothing. And, like I said, the team, now it's a fair fight again, because they know where we're all at, and every team, both teams are healed to full. So it's just pointless, to take pop shots at people. It's just never worth it. You're wasting ammo, you're wasting armor plates, because all you're going to do is sit there and poke back and forth. It's just impossible. It's just, it's just waste time. You're wasting time, ammo, armor, you're wasting all that. It's just, it's just pointless. So doing things like that is just not worth it. And this is, for me, like I said, I'm not the best player in the world. I'm very good at this game, very good at battle royales, but I try and play as smart as possible, to give myself the upper hand in every single fight. And, shooting somebody from 150 meters with a submachine gun is usually never, even best player in the world, that's a hard kill. It's just a hard kill, to come by when, they're that far away with a submachine gun. But, some things, and you'll see here, this is where I go off on this team of 4 here. Knock 2, and accuracy is just on point. I'm sucking my own dick on this one. Accuracy is on point with this. And you'll see when I knock 2 of them down, the other 2 guys are resin. I drop below into the street and then push from below. They don't really know I'm coming because I'm out of sight at that point. But you'll see it come up here. And then after that, so you'll see that. So once I knock 2 of them, we get up to this hill, knock 2. The other 2 have to res because they're 2 down. So there's nobody to really watch. So I drop into the street, get into cover, and push up because I know they're going to be pushing as soon as as soon as they get up. They're going to be healing as soon as they get res. But you see here, I knocked the first one and get damage on the second one, and then I knock the third one I shoot at. So immediately drop down into the street here. And as soon as I drop down here, they have no vision of me, so I'm able to push a little bit better. And I tell my team to full push. But this game essentially. So that's all I'm gonna talk about with just common mistakes. I've been playing the game. When the game is 50-50. Some days it's amazing, it's fun. Like this weekend, I had a good amount of fun on it. The rockets are less of a problem when you run EOD. But the big problems I'm having, so everybody knows Papa John's when you order pizza from there. You get the little peppers that come in there, and then you get the garlic sauce. Just imagine you ordered a pizza, and the peppers and the garlic sauce doesn't come with it, right? It's just minor stuff, but it's still supposed to come with the order, and it's not there. That's exactly what this game is. And people are going to say, oh, it's a beta. They literally have this game named as a beta just so they have the excuse of, oh, it's just a beta, we're cleaning stuff up. It's just laziness, in my opinion. The product they're giving, Call of Duty has been around since Moby Dick was a minnow. There's no excuses for just minor bugs and just minor, just trash stuff in this game. The things I'm talking about, I've had it 3 times today alone. I'm making this video 3 times where I run around a corner to flank somebody and my aim assist is non-existent. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, why do you need aim assist? Or PC players are going to complain that aim assist is overpowered, which is not, because PC has the upper hand in every scenario. Do not care what anybody says. PC shits on controller every day of the week. But that being said, when you're used to playing with aim assist and you go to shoot somebody, you expect the aim assist to be there. And if it's not, if you've never played without aim assist, try it, and you'll see how hard it actually is on a controller. It is absurdly hard. So when you go around a corner and you don't have aim assist, you're pretty much a sitting duck. So I've been killed 3 times today flanking, go around with no aim assist, and then just get murdered because the aim assist is non-existent. I mean, it's terrible, and it's not like, my sensitivity is super high. My sensitivity is on 5. That's not very high. And like I said, if you've played on without aim assist before, you know exactly how it feels. And 100% the aim assist is not there. And I talk about it several times, not being able to jump over like 3-foot rocks. Trucks being able to drive over 6-foot rocks. The climbing in the windows is super bug. You have to like stand right in front of the window for you to be able to jump in it. Sometimes the window not breaking when you jump into the windowsill. I mean, just minor stuff like that. Like I said, it's not the end of the world, but it's just minor, just stupid stuff that, if that stuff wasn't ever an issue and the game was just clean and polished, it would make it so much better of an experience. But it's not. The C4s, if you touch any explosive range with a C4 on a cart, it blows up, which is absurd because the C4 range is absurdly high. The rockets, getting killed by as a human isn't as bad because EOD kind of negates that quite a bit. But again, that just goes into the perk balance. The perk balance is absurdly terrible because you have to run EOD or cold-blooded. Really EOD, because cold-blooded I really don't think is that necessary. If somebody's going to hit you with a sniper, they're going to hit you whether you got cold-blooded on or not. But EOD is pretty much a crutch because everybody runs around with rockets. The dual magnums, they're absurd. A pump shotgun will lose to the dual magnums pretty much every single fight because they have a faster fire rate and they do more damage. So just everything is unbalanced in this game, just small stuff, and it doesn't seem like they have any intention of fixing it. The last patch I seen, they fixed one of the operators that had 2 patches on his arm instead of 1. Like that, why? Like, why do we need that? Fix the stuff that's broken in the game. Make it more enjoyable. No one cares about how many patches your operator has on it. But like I said, I had fun this weekend playing the game, but there's just a lot of stuff that they need to clean up. Like I said, it's just not a polished game. And for a AAA title like Call of Duty to not have a game that's completely polished is unacceptable in my opinion. They make millions and millions of dollars off of us. They brag about how many people play the game, yet they can't fix minor stuff like that. But that's just my opinion. But I hope you all enjoyed this full video. I started a little late, like 4 kills in, but I hope you all enjoyed. If you didn't, click the thumbs down button. If you did, you know what to do.